What's going on, folks? So recently I rediscovered the Artificer Hive. It is a technician-specific skill, and what it does is it sends out micro-electro booster drones that expel themselves to increase allied skill efficiency and refresh their duration. Additionally, and crucially, periodically it will release a drone whilst holstered. So this is a skill that can be used without being deployed. And my first thought was, how do we best use this skill? If it's being holstered, what can we use it for? Turret comes to mind, but one of the things that I've always wanted to do is put together a really beefy shield build. So with the Artificer Hive and the shield being buffed by said hive, I wanted to put this together and give you a look. So rolling back to the top, we've got the Technician here. It's a requirement if we're going to use the Artificer Hive. Primary and secondary weapons, somewhat ironically, not going to be used here. They are something of an aesthetic choice because you're really not going to be using them. But if you do find yourself using them, 10% armor on kill from the mop is quite nice. Similarly, perfect preservation from Emmeline's Guard. 12% armor on an almost max armor build is going to look pretty good. But what you're really going to be using is the Liberty. So the Liberty is an exotic pistol, if anyone doesn't know where to get it, and I will put that together. But for those of you who do have it, you'll be familiar with its talent, Liberty or Death. It grants 2% weapon damage and stacks up to 30 times. Headshots consume all stacks and repair your shield for 3% per stack. So it is intended to and is a quite nice pairing for any sort of shield, but specifically the Bulwark ballistic shield, which can only be used with a pistol. Moving into the gear, we've got the Catharsis. It is a new named mask. Its talent is quite nice. Taking damage builds stacks up to a cap of 30%. I'll let you keep reading while I go further in detail as to where this shines. So that damage taken does include damage to your shield. So you can take damage on your shield up to a max of 30. That'll give you an additional 30% weapon damage. So consider yourself, you're walking around with 30% weapon damage from Vicious Cycle and 60% damage from Liberty or Death. That gives you a total of 90% additional weapon damage when you're doing body shots. And then if you ever need to release that and repair your shield, you can just do a quick headshot. The other key point here is the gear set Foundry Bulwark. If you don't have that, you can target it as loot and build a set fairly quickly. Most of the gear sets can be put together with minimal effort, given that it is just one core attribute and one secondary attribute. As you can see here, I haven't even optimized this build. The attributes could be rolled to repair skills if you want to take advantage of the Artificer Hive, or armor regen if you want a more passive skill. Important point is repair skills as your mods will amplify the effect of the Artificer Hive. So I recommend putting that on all three of the mask, backpack, and chest piece. We have both the Foundry Bulwark backpack and chest piece here. The chest piece increases makeshift repairs from 20 to 30%, and the backpack increases the repair speed from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. And then we finish it off with the gloves and the knee pads. And then last but not least, another piece of this build, the only reason why we don't have a max armor core build is the Forge. It is a named holster. If you don't have one, I would recommend going and getting it for this build. Target Richter and Kaiser, and you should get one fairly quickly. Even if you're running on a lower difficulty, it will drop eventually. And, somewhat fantastically, if it drops, it is a perfect piece, because you have the skill tiers already maxed, your 50% shield health will always roll as maxed, then you have the secondary attribute that you can either reroll to whatever you want, or, as I've done, be lazy and leave it at what it was. Skill haste isn't the worst, but again, if you were optimizing, would probably go ahead and make that repair skills as well. This honestly exceeded my expectations in terms of damage output. A lot of times with these tankier builds, yes, you can survive, but you can't really dish out what you're taking. This is the exception to that. Between, again, the Catharsis and Liberty, you can do quite a bit of weapon damage while still maintaining that, again, near max armor core build with that lovely shield. So put it together, give it a try, let me know what you think. Down in the comments below, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.